Welcome back. A good listener makes a pleasing personality, and how many times I have told you that? Well, again, I try to link to what I have already told you, that it's the overall personality of not only the listener, the speaker has already been touched upon earlier. I'm concentrating more on the listening part. Good listening is required for authorities for your social and organizational environment so that you can give the highest output. My previous communication with you has proved this point, that if you are a good listener, then your communication standard will also rise, because in a large organizational hierarchy, you are the person who will receive and who will give out. So your listening is receiving. You need to do that very, very carefully with intent. Create the interest if you don't have. And again, I re-emphasize, don't judge. Don't jump into any conclusion. In a very large organization, viewers, you really have to be patient. Take in everything, evaluate, and then you start with your communication. That comes later. The first part is listening. Aside from practical benefits, you see, listening has such a lot of practical benefits. Being a good listener is important for the quality of your social life as well. Only talking yourself and not listening to others do not create a social healthy life. Forget about organization, your university, your educational scenario. Just think of a social life. When you are with your peers, when you are with your family, when you are with others outside your work area, if you are aggressively trying to prove your point, after some time you will notice that people do not want you in their group much. People would want to avoid you for the simple reason that you are showing your aggression by speaking only without giving others a chance to speak. Now, this can be interpreted conversely. If you don't give others a chance to speak, it means you're not listening. So your social life also will suffer. You have to take your turn to speak because you have to listen. First you listen, then you speak. That builds up a healthy conversation. Now, I'm only talking about how to listen, but here are some tips which will help you to be a good listener. Face the speaker and maintain eye contact. This is also true for communication. If you remember, once I started with effective communication skill, effective communication skill has this point highlighted: maintain eye contact. When you maintain eye contact, it means you're actually listening. Be attentive but relaxed. If you look straight into the eye with aggression, just being there because you want to take in everything from the speaker, waiting for your turn, then the speaker will feel threatened. When you are listening, you listen in a relaxed manner. Relaxed in the way that you show signs of understanding. Maybe a nod, a smile, or just a flip of your eyelid, which means that what the speaker is saying makes sense to you. If you disagree, you can also show relaxed signs with a smiling face. What we always say, agree to disagree. That body language can also come out. But the fact remains that you are listening. Keep an open mind. Moment you find that certain things are being said which you are not agreeable to, you start shifting. You look around and your body language, your facial expression says it all, that you are not interested. Please don't make that mistake. Keep an open mind. Take in everything. Maybe somewhere in the line all of that could be of use to you. Listen to the words and try to picture what the speaker is saying. Now this is called a kind of a visual picture. When you are intently listening to some speaker, something which is being said, then you try to picture out, maybe you make your own little imagination in the mind and try to figure out how it is being delivered, where you can put it in. But here I will sound a little caution: don't daydream. Don't get into your daydream mode. You take in the personality. That's what I'm trying to say. You picture the conversation, assess the personality. Don't get into a daydream mode. Don't interrupt, and don't start coming up with your views before the speaker has ended, which means that you are not giving the speaker a chance to complete his or her concept, his or her ideas. Before he is ready or she is ready with the complete presentation, you are interrupting. That spoils the flow of the communication of the speaker. The speaker will become aware, resist, and then that good communication will all go haywire. So wait for the person to finish and then you put in your views. There could be a question round also, or people will ask for your views, or there could be a written communication later on. You take your chance. We all need to wait for a cue. So that is what I'm trying to point out here. Don't interrupt. That also is not very courteous. More tips for you. Sharpen your listening skill. First of all, positive attitude everywhere, all through your communication skill. That is the most important part. You must have a positive attitude, ready to listen. Why not? Listen to others' views and then you make your judgment. You'll have plenty of time to do that. Must be all attentive. High level of concentration is required. Don't think that it's the onus of the speaker to speak. The listener may not be a part of the whole communication. That is not true. A conversation is between two people. So here you need to concentrate also listening to what is being said. To show your involvement, ask questions but not out of turn. You put up your hand, or if there are any other information given to you, that if you want to ask a question, you may tap your table lightly, or you can put up your pen in a board meeting or something like that. You take the cue, ask a question. When your turn comes, ask the question. And the best part will be, in case you lose out on retention, note it down, the question that you would like to ask. But again, take your turn, don't ask out of turn. Maintain eye contact all through. Look at the person who's speaking to you with a pleasant smile or with a pleasant countenance. If not a smile, with a pleasant countenance, that you are listening, that you are taking in, soaking in what is being said. So these are very important. And here, although I do not have it here in my presentation, but I would also bring it in here. Even a telephone conversation, you cannot see the other person, but your voice makes a lot of difference when you are having a good telephone conversation, because this is where you can imagine, this is where you can picture out what the other person is feeling. Is it a feeling of anger which is carried on out through his voice and it carries on, the anger escalates, or is it a very nice pleasant conversation? So if you cannot see the person, have a good voice modulation. And although you're not looking at the person, but you can always put on a smile when you are speaking, the whole process of conversation also becomes very positive. Make a conducive body posture. I'm coming back to the visual that suppose I can see the speaker in front of me and I am a listener. See that you have a conducive body posture, that is, which is very befitting for the condition that is there. If it is a board meeting, if it is a class lecture, or if it is any other one-to-one conversation as well, you shouldn't be relaxed. You refer back to the previous pictures that I had shown you. The relaxed body language to the extent as if the person will fall off asleep any moment, or you should not lean so much that the position becomes a threat. A very conducive, just right and pleasant for the occasion.